Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Opportunities Connected. We got a great show for you today, as we always do. Justin, so very good to see you, sir.
Likewise. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, and we are here to show you how to do things and what we believe is the best steps forward with a great topic. Thanks for tuning in. I am Yemi Griot.
I'm Justin Latson.
And welcome to Opportunities Connected. Yes. I almost gave it away, man. I'm so excited to talk about today's episode and the subject we're covering today. And so many people avoid this topic in relationships, and they don't even have to. And but I understand it's a very difficult topic to cover sometimes, not just in folks you have a relationship with, in terms of like your spouse or your partner, but even like friends or relatives, because it isn't something that is often necessary to share with everybody. But in a relationship, it's always good to be transparent, and it's always good to be open. You don't want to create walls. And Justin, so I'm not holding them up anymore. What are we talking about today?
Yeah, so this subject can make or break your relationship, and our goal today is to bring you and your partner closer together with this very tough subject of finance. Money. Okay.
$100 bills, y'all.
Yes. So I think it's extremely important to go over your financial goals, go over your financial habits with your partner.
Yes.
So if you guys are on the same page with the journey, with how you guys are going to go about your journey,
that's right.
It makes life so much easier. And then there's no, why did you spend too much money here? Or we're saving for this. When you guys are both on the same plan, when both your names are written down on the plan you guys created together, then it becomes easier to let me not spend this money that way when I know this is what our financial goals are. So
that's right. It's about that transparency there. The last thing you need in between you and the person who is your other half is any walls or any barriers. And one thing that lies, whether little lies or anything like that, and that's how it can be perceived when you're not sharing this information. That lack of transparency comes off as distrust. And so one of the things that's always good to make sure you are speaking about all those things so that you move forward together. I mean, I wouldn't want to find out by surprise when I know that we've got all these things to cover, whether or not we're talking about the rent, talking about cell phones, we're talking about what we're watching on TV. You're covering the whole spread. There's all sorts of apps, and having a surprise app or having a surprise purchase pop up when that wasn't already in your thoughts for budgeting for, then that can sometimes create some resentment or some anger, some frustration, and working those things out ahead of time, of course, always helps move forward together.
Yes, 100%. And two things I want to bring up is like, what are your retirement plans? Do you want to be 65 when you retire? That's not for me. And my wife understands that our goal is not to retire when we're older. We want to retire younger. So we are aggressively putting money to our retirement account. But this is something we came up with together.
Yeah.
And then my point number two is, God forbid if something were to happen to me, I want her to fully know where the money is. I want her to know our plans of how to manage the money. What are our priorities? If all of a sudden another catastrophe hit, we just had COVID, where we are business owners, so it's not like we can just, pull
right. It's true. Yeah, it does. It really doesn't grow on trees. And you're absolutely right. You want to make sure you're in the position to be able to support all of those unexpected needs. And while they often always say, and some folks have the opportunity to do that, and if you are in that place, keep going, and we hope that we all can get to that place. But not everybody is in a position to save up 3 months worth of savings to be able to prepare for any health catastrophes, any financial burdens, being laid off, or any instances where they're dealing with, and there's been a lot of it over the past year or so, and even more, weather disasters, and when those things hit, I mean, it pours. And so, being upfront with your partner or your spouse about how you want to plan for a time where you guys can look forward to relaxing together, not spending your entire life working, is so important. It helps you guys move towards a goal together rather than
100%. One thing my wife and I do, every dollar after we pay our taxes on the money that comes in, we put a minimum of 10 to 20% into our retirement account.
there you
Every
go.
single
That's a
day.
good goal.
So we pay our electric bill, we pay our mortgage, we pay ourselves. Ours
That's it.
is that retirement account.
That's
So,
it. Yeah.
and you never know, your 401k may go away like in the next couple of years. Not saying it will. I'm not a financial strategist.
Yeah, we're making that very clear. We're talking about being transparent with your
Yeah,
partner. We're not financial strategists, but definitely, if you're going to go talk to one, it's okay to first, talk to your partner, your spouse, and say, "Hey, you know, why don't we talk to a financial strategist about this?" But
yep. Create a game plan together.
definitely being transparent about the shared financial goals or addressing bills and expenses together. I mean, that's how you move forward and build that trust.
100%. And then, the second big topic on finance, we all try to avoid it. But when those bills come in, you have
Ooh.
an unexpected medical bill come in.
Yeah.
A lot of people will just put the bills off to the side. Oh, I know what bill that is, putting it off to the side. You know what? When that happens on your side, what do you do? Do you handle it face on? What's your thoughts on that?
That's it. So look, if I don't, then I'm not being a good teammate. So one of the things that we do immediately, especially if it's an unexpected medical bill, is we look at it, and that's something that's also going around. Sometimes the person who you went to, you thought you paid the copay with, and you thought you followed through on all of the things, maybe you didn't put in the code correctly, and then you get that unexpected medical bill, and you're like, $400. Why am I paying $400 for this? This is supposed to be covered. Immediately call your health care, work it out with, make sure that whoever you're with is aware of the situation. That way it's not like, hey, I didn't know we were underwater with this. You want them to be on the same team with you. And that's another thing that comes up with that. If I receive that, I don't want to be like, you know what? I don't want to burden them with carrying this weight. I'll carry this weight. I'll be the martyr. You don't have to be a martyr. You
Yeah.
know, you can turn to your partner and say, "Hey, look, this just came in. I know it shouldn't be this amount. So I'm going to address it. Would you like to address it with me? If you guys already have a situation where one of you is the designated person to deal with it, have that person address it. But there's no need to keep any privacy on that, because the privacy just creates a wall of distrust. And so,
100%.
yeah,
And my friends, negotiate that bill down. Negotiate it.
yeah,
The
oh,
worst thing they can say is, no, you owe this. Then come up with a game plan to pay off what you owe, but always negotiate. See
that's
what
it.
they can do for you because they want to help you pay it off.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
we feel like they don't. We feel like they're just trying to get every dime that they can get from me, but you did most likely you did the service.
yeah.
So
and
that's
and then also allow it to be kind of like, okay, a stepping stone. One of the things that I've learned is, like, since we were on the topic of the unexpected medical bill, as saying, okay, well, when I'm working with my doctor, what are the things that I should speak to that person about? And so what I've called the insurance company and I spoke to them, and they said, look, if find out what the code is ahead of time, find out what it is, and then give us a call.
Mhm.
We'll let you know whether or not we cover it. And if we don't, we'll find a solution for you. They want to work with you also. I
Yep.
mean, you are paying them money. Same with any of the other bills. I mean, medical bills aside, and Lord knows we don't want to deal with those when those come in, but health beats wealth. We also have, everyone's got a mobile phone. Everybody from, the cat to the 8-year old running around in the next door neighbor's yard to someone walking through the hills of Nova Scotia. Everybody's got a cell phone now, and
Yeah.
everybody's paying a cell phone bill. And
You
so
know,
you want to go through and make sure you can work together on how you do that.
yeah, working in dentistry, one of our main jobs was literally to call the insurance company.
Yeah.
Why did they not pay on this? Like, it was a full-time job just calling insurance companies left and right to get them to work with you. So do the like you and your partner come up with a plan. See
That's
what
it.
can be negotiated, what can does not. See maybe if there's an error. But the worst thing you can do is just let it build up, build
God.
up, build up. Okay.
Right. And I get it.
Yep.
Who no one wants to deal with that. But the beauty of the other side of that is working together on it. You wouldn't believe how much your financial goals could grow if
Yeah.
you're looking at it as, this is my partner, this is my teammate, and we didn't get into this to, be broke. We didn't get into this
Right.
to like, hey, let's go for a financial future of zero. Everyone gets into this to try to be successful together. And so your interest at that time should be, hey, let me work with my teammate here because I know that we both want to have a positive growth, positive future together. You wouldn't believe that how that opens up this opportunity to grow, and the growth you might see from that, it expands. And so you have to also embrace the positive side of that. In fact, embracing that positive side of that helps you to deal with the other parts of it, whether or not you're putting out for your cell phone, your Wi-Fi, your rent, your car note or used car or anything. If you're moving forward together on it, and it helps for it to be a positive growth going forward.
100%. And another thing you and your partner can do, there's YouTube channels on finance. There's books on finance. Whether you like to read or you want to listen to Audible, one thing that my wife and I do all the time is we study finance. Okay. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, none of that, but I always want to learn. I don't pretend to recreate the wheel. Like
Right.
it's all out there. And what's really good about some of the YouTube channels is that you can hear other people's situation and have experts break down what they would do in that situation.
Right.
So it don't reinvent the wheel, I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
YouTube what challenge you're going through, and then don't just watch the first video. This is what I'm gonna do, get excited. Watch a couple videos, read a couple books, and then come up with a game plan that truly gets you to the end point. What did we say in our other episodes? Start with the end in mind.
That's it. That's right. It's like don't think of backwards as a negative word. I mean, if you're planning, hey, there's the end goal. We both know we love the beach. We both know we want a home on the beach. We both know we want to be comfortable, living comfortably when we're living in that home at the beach. How do we plan backwards from that? Okay, this is the end goal. All right. I What are the steps that it takes to get to that place? What steps do I have to do at my job? What steps do I have to do with in this current household? How do we get to that end goal? And so setting that end goal and that plan helps you guys to move forward. I can't get up the stairs if I don't know where the top of the stairs is, right?
Yes, or you're just gonna be walking in circles, not realizing.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
And then that's like, I just like that you brought that up, Justin, in terms of the shared financial goals. It doesn't even have to be as far out as looking at, all right, where do I want to live once I'm done with the daily grind. It could be even as simple as, okay, I know we need a car. How do we plan backwards from there? We don't want to do have to buy a car like right away in the time of need. You want to be able to get to that goal without compromising all of your other needs as well. And then sometimes, and I wanted to bring this one up because sometimes this happens. You might come from different households. Everyone is raised in their specific way, and we've learned about or haven't learned about how to do things financially within our households, and so we come with different styles. And understanding growth is understanding that as we come together, that we're going to eventually be on the same page and eventually track together. But before we get to that place, we have to listen to and understand and be open to the style that that person is bringing on. Sometimes some folks come in, they're like, well, in my house, there's only one person that handles the finances, and that's my mom, or that's my dad, or that's my uncle, or whatever. And so I just want to designate one person. I don't want to hear about it, so on and so forth. And then you might come from a household, or the person might come from a household where they're like, we all sit down, when we do our family a meeting, we all talk about, hey, okay, what do we get? How are we planning for Christmas gifts? How are we planning for this? And so when you guys come together, understanding and receiving both of those different styles and saying, okay, well, what style do we want to start here together between the both of us? I know you're used to only one person doing it, and I'm used to us working as a team. How do we find that middle and allow that to be something that boosts your strength? It's something that you guys are coming together on, rather than something that takes away. Don't be There's no point. Where are you going if you're like, I don't like your style, I don't want to do it that way, I'm gonna just do it my way.
Yeah, and keep in mind, like your endpoint
Yeah.
and their endpoint may be completely different in a sense of some people love to travel.
Yeah.
And for you to completely ignore the fact that they want to travel to say, I just want to retire early, that means you guys have two different goals.
That's it.
There is a way for you guys to merge those goals in. If you say, okay, my partner loves to travel, how can I budget that in our savings? Maybe it's putting an extra 5% of every dollar that comes in off to the side. Now you're able to save for your retirement to retire early, and you're able to allow you and your partner to travel together.
That's it.
A lot of people's like, it's my way or the highway, or it's their way or the highway. It does not have to be like that. That's
Yeah.
why sitting down and discussing your financial goals together is so important. Everybody can win. In negotiation, it's not what can I get out of this. It's what am I willing to give to make sure I get what I want as well. It's
Amen.
a
That's it.
win-win.
That's it. That's it. Even if you're looking at teams and how teams work together, and you think, okay, well, maybe I'm a solo sport person. Narrow it down to golf. That golf person, that caddy, is the golfer's teammate. They work together as a team. You always a lot. There's the majority of success comes from working as a team with your teammate to reach that end goal. And so understanding that, sure, there's going to be some differences, but how can we use those differences to complement each other rather than take away from each other? And that, another thing is I wanted to fostering trust or fostering sharing doesn't have to be something that takes away. I know that there's sometimes you get that old school thought of like, well, you know, that person doesn't need to know about all of this stuff, or I'm the only one that's working and that person's not working, so they don't need to know all the details about this stuff. But if you're a team, then you're a team. Then one person working and the other person not working doesn't mean anything. You're both working together. We squatted up, we made an agreement, and this is how we're moving forward together. To still be open. And sure, you can have some things where you're like, you know what, if I want to buy a drink or a balloon or a cupcake, I don't necessarily need to notify the person on every single thing I buy. But if there's a limit or if there's an amount that you both agree on, say, hey, look, if we're about to spend over 50 or $100, let's just give the other person a heads up. It's not necessarily asking for permission. You guys work it out how you want to do it, but maybe just a heads up. Like, I know we budgeted for this, but I see this grill that I would love to have in our backyard so I can make you the perfect meal. I'd like to buy that grill, but it costs $199. Just gonna give you a heads up. I'm thinking about getting that grill.
Yep. It's like having a company credit card,
That's it.
You have your staple runs and things like that, but when you want to buy a brand new printer or something like that, you gotta notify the company. Hey, this is what we're gonna do. This is why it benefits. It's
Mhm.
beneficial. It's funny you say grill. I just bought me a brand new grill, and
Oh,
my wife and I were talking about this.
yeah,
So, like, she doesn't let me know that she's buying coffee. If we
right,
just buy coffee, she's buying coffee for both of us.
right, right. Hey,
Anyways,
I'm buying gum.
but when it came to buying a grill, I'm sure I could just bought the grill on my own. But we share our financial goals, so it's
Yeah,
like we discussed it. We talked about it.
yeah,
And then we, she even got to watch me pick out the perfect grill because I love grilling.
yeah.
So
Yeah, yeah, same, same. I mean, we were going through a store the other day, and I saw a grill that, I mean, to me, it looked good, and
mhm,
immediately, she was able to say, you know what? I know you're interested in it, but that one I don't think is going to meet the needs. It had zero to do with the price. It just had everything to do with the space on it. I was hungry for a grill, and she understood. Hey, look, maybe that size is the best one for you. Maybe you want a little bit more size on it, so on and so
yeah,
forth. And having that way you're not coming home or like, in fact, we even applied at work. It's called thinking holistically. If all of the parties that are involved, you're not doing the double work. So, I'm not putting a bid out on the contract while someone else is putting a bid out on the same contract and we've just spent double the money. Yeah, I don't want to spend money on a grill, get it home, realize, hey, it's not the right grill, have to go back, do the return. Hopefully they'll take the return back and then
mhm.
go back out, look for another grill.
Yeah, and that time is money. That's
It
time that you
is.
can spend with your
It
family,
is.
time you can be working. So that's another thing I would like to add to this conversation
Yeah.
that we actually is not on the list, but we just
Yeah.
gotta talk about it. Time is money. Like,
It
what
is.
would you pay to make your partner happy? What would you pay to make yourself happy?
That's it.
So, on top of your financial goals, understanding your needs and your partner's needs and budgeting that in.
Yeah.
Like, I will always cut my own grass, but I have friends that say, that the 2 hours it takes to cut the grass and trim the bushes and make it neat, I'd rather pay $50 to hire somebody, and that 2 hours I can spend with my family.
What?
That 2 hours I can spend
Yep.
negotiating $100,000 contract. So that is another financial thinking as well. Your time
Yeah.
is most
It is. It
probably
is.
more
And
valuable than money.
I'm so glad you use that example.
Yes.
That is what that comes up often. And so you look at that like, sure, I can look at a YouTube and then go into my bathroom and try to redo the tile. Or I can hire someone to get it done and they'll knock it out within a day rather than me over a month. And
And
so
then realize you made a mistake, have to go back, there's a leak.
hey, the ball is rolling from one side of the bathroom to the other. Maybe I didn't put that grout down right. Right. And so you want to also consider those things, especially if and understanding the time plays a factor in that because a lot of times relationships require that time you want to be present with your partner. You don't
Yeah.
want to be there